Hey, Bruce Hutton here, and welcome to episode 3 of Trade Business Tuesdays. So here we are again. We're going to go through some crazy stuff here. We're going to go through the 10 biggest mistakes tradesmen and trade businesses make whilst running their crazy outfits. So, but before we do that, I want to make sure everyone can actually hear me, and or if there are people on, if the people jumping on, let's have a quick look. See one person watching. If you can hear me, give me a yes in the comments box. I just want to make sure everyone can hear me. I've got a new camera. I'm not using my laptop camera anymore, so I want to make sure that this new little baby is working correctly and you can hear me okay. Andy, perfect. Hello, buddy. Can you hear me all right, Andy? Give me a yes in the comments. Perfect. Lovely. Okay. Just me and you at the moment, Andy. Oh, we've got 2. Okay, lovely. So, what we're going to go over today, as I say, is the 10 biggest mistakes tradesmen and trade businesses make. But before we get into that, what I want to do is I want to allow a few more people to jump on first and foremost. We've got one person watching at the moment. Pretty light today. Okay, so if you're watching this on the replay, give me a hashtag replay. So I like to understand where people are actually coming from. Andy, yeah, one-on-one session. That sound, yeah. This is one-on-one coaching just for you, Andy. Yeah, so give me a hashtag replay in the comments just to let me know that you are watching and you've watched afterwards. I understand that not everyone can get on at this time. I might actually look at making it a little bit later. I'm not sure yet. I've had a little bit of feedback that people are struggling to, get on at this time. But I'm going to go with a few more and just see how we get on. But I might make it a little bit later. If you do think I should make these a little bit later, then absolutely drop your opinions. I'll put my teeth back in. Opinions in the comments box below, so that I can just kind of get a general consensus of who does and who doesn't want it to be a little bit later. So, if you're watching on the live, then Andy, me and you, buddy, where are you calling in from? Whereabouts are you, Andy? You might have told me this before when you was on another live. Drop it in the comments box. I'm gonna crack on. I'm gonna keep going. So today, obviously going through the 10 biggest mistakes tradesmen make. Before I do that, I wanna just nice one, Andy. Darwin in Lancashire. Perfect, buddy. Perfect. So I want to go over, if you are watching this and you are getting some, real value out of these lives and out of the tips that I do on my Facebook page, on the Happy Tradesman page, then I've got to try and start looking up at the camera, this new camera I've got. I keep looking down. So if you are getting value out of this, then please do, jump onto, I've got some free training. I've got a webinar that you can jump onto absolutely free of charge. If you are interested in that, drop me a comment in the link in the box below, and I will, I'll give you the link. So before we do anything, I want to just actually let you know about something that's absolutely free, and that is I've created a new group, a brand new group, a new Facebook group called Trade Business Mastery, and what we're going to do in that group is it's a free group to join. All you have to do is answer a couple of questions. I think it's one question, and you could jump in. And what I want to do is I want to create a group where I've got like-minded people that are in the trades industry and wanting to grow their businesses and wanting to get value from other people and kind of rub shoulders with people that are actually in the same position. So if you want to jump into that, jump onto the Facebook page after this live. And in the comments, not in the comments, but in one of the posts just before this is a link to join that. And if you get any problems with that, let me know, and I'll drop a link in the comments below this. But absolutely jump on that. Don't miss out on that. There's going to be people in there. We've already got a bunch of people in there, and we're getting more people in there every day. You can ask questions in there, and you can find out what's hot, what's not, what's working for people, what's not working, and ultimately just network and get. Maybe get, a link with other tradesmen, maybe get other tradesmen to do work for you. It's a fantastic group, and it's going to be a fantastic group and a great place to hang out for tradesmen. And ultimately, it's free. So let's do that. So let's get to actually, I'm going to answer a question here. Liam Bird, are you still a tradesman yourself? Just curious. I'm actually not a tradesman myself anymore. No, I'm still involved in running a trades business. So very much still involved in, running Tradesman, doing the office side of things, and being very, very involved in that. But I haven't been a tradesman, an electrician for quite a while. I'd say probably I haven't been on the tools for about 15 years now. But I'm an electrician, if you don't already know, by trade. So yeah, hope that answers your question. So let's jump straight in. Let's jump straight into the first one, which is, the 10 biggest mistakes that tradesmen and trades businesses make. And the first one I'm going to hit on is, starting a trades business to get rich, and I've seen this so much. And obviously I've dealt with lots of tradesmen throughout my career, in a capacity of, I'll tell you what, Luke, I'll answer some questions at the end. So if you want to drop a question at the end, I'll happily do a little Q&A session, but I'll just keep stopping and I won't be getting my point across. Good man. So the first one is starting a trades business to get rich quick. Now I see this so much, and obviously I've seen loads of tradesmen throughout my business journey, and the amount of people that I see that come in and sit in front of me, whether it's through interviewing or just talking to tradesmen, that have actually tried to start their trade businesses thinking that it's going to be easy. And the reason why they think that is because they see the boss doing it. They see the boss driving the brand new Range Rover, or they see the boss going away on holiday for 2 or 3 weeks to the Maldives, let's say, for example. And they think, do you know what? I can do this. There's no reason why I should be lying in this guy's pocket or this woman's pocket. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm going to go out on my own. But what you don't see is what goes on in the background, what these people have done, the hats these people have had to wear, and the hard slog they've had to go through in the beginning to actually make that work. And now they're reaping the benefits of what they've actually sacrificed previously. So thinking you're going to start a business to get rich quick, you're completely deluded. It doesn't happen like that. It never will happen like that unless you are given a silver spoon from the off. You will have to start wearing hats like marketing. You will have to start wearing hats like sales, like admin, like accounts. You've got to be all of these people, and that is not an easy task if you don't know how. So starting a business to get rich quick is a myth. It doesn't work, and you do have to put a hell of a lot of effort into it. So let's jump into number 2. Thinking you're the only good tradesman or trades business in your area. I think we can all be a little bit naive to the fact that we're fantastic at what we do, and we're gonna try our best, and we're gonna be better than the competition. Everyone thinks the same. People always think the same, and everyone thinks that I'm the best trades business because I'm the best tradesman, or I'm the best trades business, or I've got the best tradesman. Everyone else thinks the same. So what you need to do is you need to be different. You need to be different within your field, and you have to find your own way of doing that. There is different unique selling points that you have to get within your business so that you can stand out from the rest. So that's that one. Thinking you're the only good tradesman in the area. Don't think that. Be the better tradesman in the area. Don't think you're the best tradesman in the area. Next one, number 3, not being a good leader. This is a huge one, and it's not through fault that people fall into this trap. It's pretty much that people go from being a tradesman and growing their businesses, and first of all, taking on someone. When you first take on someone, you'll find that the dynamic of when you take them on is like you're more friendly, you're more mates, you're more like we're going to go out, you're going to be my apprentice, or you're just going to work together, and it's more of a friend's kind of attitude and a friend's kind of relationship. Well, when you start to take other people on within your business, that has to stop. And you do have to stop being that friendly kind of person. I'm not saying be horrible to your staff, your team, your employees, but there does have to be that divide, So that's where being a good leader comes in. You have to be the person that everyone looks up to. You have to be the person with the vision, the person that actually, drives that machine. The machine is that your business. So being a good leader, people love to follow good leaders, and they love to follow your vision within the company. So if you can get everyone to buy into that and be that person, then that is what's that is what's deemed as being a good leader. So bear that one in mind when you're actually growing as a tradesman. We're not having any employees. I would say it's not overly important that you're this leader to everyone else, because you haven't really got anybody to be a leader to. But as soon as you start taking people on, then, you need to start being that kind of leader and asserting that kind of vision for your company. Anyway, I don't want to kill that one. I've been over that so many times. So the next one is a really important one. It's one I've fallen into so many times. And that is, all business all the time. Being in business all the time, it starts to exclude you from your family, exclude you from your hobbies. Yeah, and it can really easily happen. And what business does is it sucks you in, because the business becomes your baby. Now, I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but if you've got a business and you started this little baby and she started to grow, it literally becomes it's like you had a little baby and you've got to nurture it, and you've got to do everything to make sure this little baby grows. And it actually sucks you in, and it can turn you into a slave for your business. And it sounds pretty brutal and pretty harsh, but it's the reality. And it sucked me in so many times, and you end up just living for your business, and actually your family become kind of peripheral vision. If your family become, the kind of, it's a hard way of putting it, but it's probably not the right way of putting it, but less of a focus is probably the right way of putting it. Less of a focus in your life, because actually what you're trying to do is as a business owner, you're trying to grow your business for your family. But in the process, what you're doing is you're neglecting your family to grow the business. And then when you have an argument with your wife, which I'm sure we can all relate to, and they say, you're just never home, you never see the kids. Well, I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it for the business. I'm doing it so to grow the business, and then we can spend more time together. Don't do that, guys. Don't, or ladies, whoever, don't do that. It doesn't work. You have to have a balance. And anybody that tells you don't need a work-life balance, you just have to work your ass off, don't listen. You have to have a work-life balance. Otherwise, there's no point in doing it. Anyway, let's not go into that one too much. I could rant for ages about that one. Number 5, the next one. I see Leanne there has literally just popped up. My wife. So the next one is having unrealistic financial goals. Unrealistic financial goals is a real common one when you're starting up a business. You literally, naturally, because you're passionate, you've got determination for this business to succeed and, push it in the direction you want it to go. You will literally reach for the stars, and your goal will be literally in orbit. And it's natural, and it's nice to have that, but you have to try and, be sensible with it and pull it back and have a realistic financial goals. And what they say is that, people underestimate what they can do in 10 years, and they overestimate what they can actually achieve in, let me get that right. They overestimate what they can achieve in 1 year, and they underestimate what they can achieve in 10 years. So basically what we're saying is, people go for it, and they're within a year, they think they're going to be rich. They think you're going to be, they're going to be, have loads of things going on, loads of vans, loads of this, loads of that, loads of people working for them. They're going to have loads of work coming through the door. Well, actually, that's overestimating what you can do in a year. Whereas if you plan that over the 10 years, you can really make a big dent in the world with your business if you actually plan it correctly over like even a 5 or 10 year period. So the key one for there is planning. Make sure that your goals are realistic and your financial goals are achievable. So that's that one. So number 6, not growing a business that people. And the reason why I pause there is because I've done all of these. I've thought about all these, and I've actually done all these myself. Not growing a business that people are going to love to join. Now, basically what this is about is, going into business and being tunnel vision about, going in and knowing what you want, and you want everything out of this business. Well, I want a Sunseeker, I want a 10-bedroom house, I want a Maserati, I want a Aston Martin, I want all these great things. But actually what you do is you alienate the people that actually, when you start to grow a business, and you start to climb the ranks a little bit, and you start to get 1 person, 2 people, 3 people on board in your business, what you start to do is you start to push these other people that are actually helping you get to your goal and achieve your vision. You start to push them away because it's only you now. You think tunnel vision, it's got to be me. I'm the one that's running this. I'm the one that's got it to this point. This is all on me, and everyone needs to follow my lead. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not confusing this with being a leader, because you have to be a leader. But a leader can't get anywhere without its troops. and it's a really good way of putting it, because when you're in business, you're only going to get somewhere if your team buys into the vision that you're actually going for, and it's a fantastic way to run a business. When you look at someone that's running a business and their team is absolutely loving that person and the way they're running their business, you're onto a winner. Actually, when you look at a business and their team are saying, oh, boss is an arsehole, or excuse my language, oh, he's always out, they've always got something to say about him. He's not running it properly. He or she are not running it properly. Bringing your team in, making them part of the journey, making them part of the wins, making them feel like they've achieved something. When you get a win, they need a win. When you win this contract, or when you get 10 grand's worth of work through the door on a Monday morning, it's not just you that's achieved that, it's them that's achieved it as well. So I understand this probably doesn't relate too much to one-man band tradesmen, but it's definitely worth taking on board if you're the kind of person that wants to grow and wants to kind of level up in your business over time. Keep that in the back of your head. You have to be the person that people want to follow, and then you bring your team in and you work as a team. There's no I in team. So anyway, I don't want to bang on about that one too much. Next one is, this one's a key one, and it's so common, and it's cutting your prices. When tradesmen and trades businesses get to a point in their business, and this can be either as a one-man band tradesman or even as a trades business, they get to a point where their businesses are maybe declining a little bit, and you've kind of grown this little empire that you've got here. It doesn't have to be big. It can be like one or two tradesmen that you've got out there in the road, and you're out on the road yourself, or you could be in the office and have 5 out there. You get to that point where you've got this little empire that you've grown. Now, you start to see the decline in work. The amount of jobs that you're getting through. Well, it's at that point that the natural instinct for a tradesman or a trades business is to go, well, what's the best way to start getting jobs in? Well, the best way is to cut prices. And it's crazy. It really is. And I'm not saying that I've never done this, because I actually have. I've done it many times before I actually realised what I was doing was killing my business. And I was actually, but straight away, when you think about cutting your prices, you've got this business to where it is, you've got the overheads you've got here, and you're chugging along, you've got this steam train and it's on the tracks and it's going. You start to cut prices. Well, you have to start dropping stuff off. You have to start, trucking stuff off the train. Effectively, if your prices are coming down, that means your sales are coming down, which means your profits coming down, which means your overheads have to also come down. Because if you don't level the same all the way down, basically you're going to go like this, and this is going to be your sales, and this is going to be your overheads, and effectively you're not going to last long. So it's a really, really negative thing to do. The actual positive thing to do in this situation is to increase your prices. Now, I know that's going to seem alien to a lot of people. It's going to seem really alien, because when you're in that kind of turmoil, and when you're in that kind of situation where you're actually thinking, shit's getting real now, I need to get more money through the door, I need to get more jobs in. The last thing you do, or the last thing you naturally think about doing, is then, everyone, let's up our prices. We're going to go from £75 an hour to £95 an hour. Actually, what that does, and I don't know if any of you have seen one of the posts I did a little while ago, which actually indicated, I think it was, if you increased your prices by 10%, you can afford to lose 20% on the revenue side of things. So when you look at it that way, increasing your prices by 10% allows you to lose 20% of your sales and remain at the same level of profit that you was at before you increased your prices. So you think about it, what you're doing is you're narrowing down your audience in terms of, your customers and the clients you've got, so you can afford to maybe shed some fat, And when I say shed some fat, I'm spending a long time on this one. Sorry about this, guys, but I get so passionate about this. You could spend so much time on literally shedding some fat that it actually benefits your business. So hopefully that was clear. That's a huge area, that one, and it can be fairly complicated in the way that you increase your prices by 10%, you can afford to lose by you can afford to lose by sort of 20%. So if you've got any questions about that, I'm happy to explain that in a little bit more detail. If you go back through the posts that are on this page, the Happy Tradesman page, you'll see that there is a post there, and I actually stuck a little video in there for a couple of people that weren't quite getting it. So go back there, jump in that, and you'll be able to see, and hopefully that will make it clear. If not, drop it in the comments. I've got no problem replying after this, or later on this evening, or even tomorrow. So the next one, let's leave that one where it is. The next one, number 8. Going into business and having no clear marketing message, and this is a big one that if any of you have been onto my training, onto the free training that I've got, you'll hear me say it. And basically, go into business, get your van. You've got this shiny van, and then you've got your bank account, but you've actually not given any kind of thought as to how you're going to get your customers. Well, this is a really, really common one, and you hear me say that a lot. This is a common one. This is a common one, because they are. A lot of the things that I'm saying here are really, really common, and people will fall into these traps. And that is that, you go out there and maybe you've been lulled into a false sense of security when you've been doing work for other people, thinking that, when you're working for this big electrical company or this big carpentry company or plastering company, whatever you maybe have been working for, you see loads of work coming through the door. So that lull you into a false sense of security, thinking, well, actually, there's loads of work out there. There's loads of work out there. If I just get myself a van, I'm going to get out on my own. Maybe I'll do a couple of, leaflet drops and, Bob's your uncle, I'm all sorted. Well, actually, it's a lot harder than what that kind of simple way of putting it is. What you don't see is what people have put into the background, what people have done. It's kind of like the iceberg. You only see what's on top. You don't see what's underneath. And what you see, and if you did see what was underneath, you'd see that there's people been slogging away at marketing for years, or there's people out there selling. There's a clear, a sales funnel on automation. So while that company is sleeping, while the boss of that company is sleeping, they're still selling. What you're not seeing now, all you're seeing is the jobs that are coming through. So not having a clear marketing message can be really detrimental in the beginning. In actual fact, not just in the beginning, in the whole span of your trades business or the life of your trades business. So it's a really important one to have your clear marketing message. So basically, to wrap that one up, I'm gonna say that if you are in business already, or if you are thinking of starting your own trades business, you have to understand the marketing channels that you're actually going to use. And not only that, taking a step back further than that, you have to understand your customer. So you have to have an avatar, what I like to call an avatar. So the person that you're gonna target, the person that you're gonna, your prospect. What does your prospect look like? Because when you go into business, the last thing you want to be doing is being everything to everyone, because that will get you nowhere. That is a race to the bottom, because most people out there are everything to everyone. An electrician, a plumber, a carpenter, they don't generally, probably the one out of those three is the carpenter that does specialise, because it's an easier way of specialising. But, specialising in a certain area is the key. That's where you start. That's where you want to be. Then you can get your clear marketing message out to your prospects, and you've got more chance of getting these qualified people that will actually buy from you and actually pay the prices that you actually want. So, not to dwell on that one anymore. I can literally go for ages on these, but I'm kind of wary of the amount of time that I'm taking from you guys here. So, the next one is not being completely transparent and that positive personality within your business. I see so many tradesmen. I've seen so many tradesmen that are miserable. They've got no personality, they've got no drive, they've got no enthusiasm. They go and see the client, they're like, yeah, no, well, we can do the job for you. Yeah, it's like, you've got to be that bubbly person. You've got to be the person that it's not just the job that they want the relationship with that person. And that the key thing about it is that you need to build relationships before you actually start building your business. That's the key part of it. When you're actually starting to get your business off the ground, that will mostly be because of the relationships that you've built up. So in your business, having a really good relationship, or having a really good way of, linking with people and building those relationships is absolutely paramount, and being transparent, these days, it's no good these days trying to cover things up within your business. if you make a mistake, you have to put your hands up and say, listen, we couldn't do that. I made a mistake. Our engineer's not in today, or, we went there and we couldn't fix the problem. I'm not going to charge you for that. You have to be transparent because, with the social media and, the technology we've got at our fingertips, you could be literally, ruined on social media in a matter of minutes. So, complete transparency and be that positive person to build relationships within your business. And I see so many people not doing that and literally expecting the clients and the prospects to come to them because they've created a leaflet that says I'm a carpenter or an electrician or a plasterer or, a builder, whatever you like to be. The next one is probably the biggest one of all. It's the last one and probably the biggest one, is trying to do it all. How many of you tradesmen out there actually try and do everything within your business because, that's just the way it is. It's easier for me to do it. It's easier for me to do it because when I get home, I can sit down, I can do my quotes. I've already got the quotes in my head. I've gone out, taken a couple of photos. It's just easier. It's easier for me. How many of you guys actually do that in your business? It's so detrimental. And the outcome of that is that what you'll start to do is you'll start to drop plates. Now, I'm not saying from the very outset that you have to start outsourcing these things, but you have to have a plan in place where you're going to be, as your business grows a little bit and levels up, you're going to have a plan where you say, okay, well, at the end of year one, what I'm going to try and achieve is I'm going to have someone that's doing admin for me, maybe part-time. So I don't have to deal with the quotations or the customer service or the, maybe complaints. Complaints are inevitable. You're going to get complaints. So someone needs to deal with them. So while you're out there working on the road, you need someone to deal with all these things. Otherwise, when you get home, you're the person that's going to have to deal with these things. And then ultimately, you're going to be working until 9, 10 o'clock at night to then subsequently get back up in the morning and then start working again. And what's that going to do? It's going to burn you out. And it's happening to so many tradesmen out there today because they just literally don't want to let go of all these things, But the key thing to all this is if you are starting a business, then you need to have a plan. And you'll hear me say this constantly because you need to have a plan about absolutely everything. The plan in your business is what gets you to where you want to be. So plan how you're going to actually, how your business is actually going to, how it's going to get to the 10-year goal or the 5-year goal. And if you can do that and you can see it in 5 or 10 years' time, you've got more chance of actually bringing it back and saying, right, what I want to do is at the end of year one, I want to have 2 engineers working for me, and I want to have, I want to have a lady in the office, and I'm going to be out on the road. I'm going to be doing the surveying for the jobs, and I'm going to be, I'm going to be out there, and I'm going to be doing the quality assurance and all this. I'm going to be meeting the people. I'm going to be doing a bit of networking. So that's why when I say that tradesmen, it's as important for you to actually start doing business systemization and getting your processes in place as it is for a big business, as a corporate business. I really mean it. As a tradesman, you should be documenting absolutely everything that you're doing in your business. If someone calls into your business and you're on the phone in the van, and you keep getting the same kind of phone call, like our quotation, you need to have a script. So you need to kind of, I've said this before, but you need to have a script that disqualifies people. Now, that's a good example of a process. So you start to do that. And then, you start to do other things that start to systemize. You start to get a script of how you would deal with customers that ring up and, maybe cancel appointments or all these things. There is actually, when you look at it now, if you look at what you do as a tradesman in your business today and what you've actually done all day today or all day yesterday, what you've actually done is you've gone through systems and processes, albeit those systems are in your head. And all those processes are ones that you just naturally do on a day-to-day basis. You actually do have systems and processes. And what I'm saying is that you need to get those things down on paper. You need to write them down. You need to document them because when the time comes that you want to actually get someone on board and you want to make that person, the admin person, then that admin person needs to know what they need to do for you and what you're thinking in your business. If you don't have that, and you don't know, it's like management by abdication. You basically get there and you say, okay, well, there you go. You sit in the chair and do admin because that's what you do. Sorry, I was looking at the chair there. I've got a chair down here. So yeah, you basically sit them down and go, yeah, you've done admin. This is what you do. You go on, do admin. And they won't do what you want them to do. And then ultimately, what will happen from there is you'll go, oh, they're not very good. They're not doing what I want them to do. On their CV, they said they did admin, but this is a really key point. Really key point. In the beginning, you have to wear all the hats. I agree. I can't get away from that. You have to know what you're doing yourself, document it, and then when the time's right and the time comes, you want to level up in your business. That's the point where you need to go, I've got a manual for that. And I don't like the word manual for business, but I'm going to use it because it's easy. I've got a manual for that. I've got a manual for this one. I've got a manual for that. So that's it for the 10 biggest mistakes that tradesmen and trades business owners make. If you're loving these lives, and I hope you are, because I love giving out this information, and it's kind of the reason why I do it, and I hopefully that's coming across that I've got a passion for this, and I aim to change the way this industry works, and I aim to educate the way people approach business, because there's too many tradesmen out there, right now that are struggling, that don't know where to go, don't know where to turn, don't know what to do. In their businesses. So if I can change that, and if I can change, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or even 10 tradesmen, tradesmen's businesses, and I don't really change their lives for them, that would be amazing for me. So hopefully that comes across, and I just want to give as much value as I possibly can. So hopefully you're really enjoying it. Again, I will say, if you have enjoyed this training, I have got more training that I can direct you to. It's for a program that I've got, which is Trade Startup Academy, which will basically, if you're the kind of person that wants to just go through, get snippets of information, and you want to implement yourself, absolutely fine. There's plenty of information out there. I'm giving out plenty of information here. If you want to do that, absolutely fine. I'll help you as much as I can along the way. I obviously can't give you my undivided attention. However, if you are the kind of person that actually wants to jump on a course, have interaction with me, have a call with me, and really streamline the way you learn and literally have it put in front of you in a path, then Trade Startup Academy is for you. So if you're interested in that, drop it in the comments below, and I'll drop a link, and I'm sure you can probably find the link somewhere on my page, and jump on there, look at the training, give me some feedback on the training. I love to hear what people think of how I deliver. So that's it. That's all I'm going to go over today. At the beginning, I did say that I was going to do some Q&A, so I will do that. If anybody's got any questions, can you please drop them in the question box now, and I will get to them. I'm looking straight through here. So let's have a look at this one. So Luke, could I still build an empire at 21? The only thing I understand is marketing, as I have studied lead generation and marketing for years. So Luke, yeah, you can absolutely start at 21, but what you've got to realise is that you have to start from the very beginning. And it's fantastic that you understand marketing, but that is just one. That's just one of the hats that you're going to have to wear. If you're good at it, then you've got a head start in the marketing side of things. Let me try and move this out of the way. I can't remember. You've got a head start in the marketing side of things, but there is a lot more that you need to learn. And if I'm right, I think we've already had a chat before, and you're the one. Do you work with your dad? You work with your dad, and your dad's stuck in the dark ages. Is that what you were telling me? Very common, very common. So hopefully that's answered that for you there, Luke. Any more comments? Great information. If people are heading up the ladder to speak. Perfect. Good stuff. Thanks, Sarunas. Good stuff. Lots of comments coming in. I love the fact that people are getting involved. I love it. One thing I respect my dad. Blah blah blah. Okay. Any other questions, guys? I want to stay on here as long as you want to ask questions. I'm here. I'll stay here until all the questions are answered. Any questions, guys? Don't seem to be any questions coming in, so I'm gonna end it there. I'm gonna say a good night to you, lovely tradesmen. I need to get me and my dad on your stuff. If your dad's stuck in his ways, get him on it. Get him learning some stuff, Luke. Liam, do you think... Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look at this one. I might have missed that one there. Sorry, Liam. Do you think appearance is important for quotes? business, etc. For example, tidy van, nice sign writing, smart appearance, landline number as opposed to mobile number, and nice website, etc. Absolutely. I can't stress that enough. One of the things I actually say within my course is, and I do a module on it or a lesson on it, and it is that it's the whole Gmail side of things, and it's the whole Gmail side of things. People have these, and there's no need for it in today's day and age, that people use Gmail and put Gmail on the side of their van. Now that's a bugbear for me. You don't need to use Gmail. I'm covering my face here. Let's just bring this down. So yeah, absolutely. I completely, categorically say yes to you, Liam. Appearance is absolutely important. You've got to think about it in a way that, if you're the kind of person that is going to call out a tradesman and the tradesman turns up in a van that's battered up, a puff of smoke comes out the back when they pull up, there's a big bang as it pulls up, then you get a guy jump out the side and he's like, his shirt's all ripped, and you get the idea, If you've got someone like that coming to your place of either work or your home, you're really not going to call them again. Or if you do call them again, then you're glutton for punishment, because they're probably going to do a bad job and all that. So, yeah, landline number. There's not too much of an issue with having a mobile number on the van. Not too much. What it does do straight away is it tells people you are a one-man band. So if you want to go the smoke and mirrors route and you want to try and get people to think that you are bigger than what you are, which there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. Appearing to be bigger than what you are is just shooting for the stars. You're just like, you've just got this, this dream and ambition to level up. There's nothing wrong with that. So hopefully that has answered your question, Liam. If you've got any other questions, stick them in the chat box now before I sign off for the evening. Yeah, sorry, I nearly missed your question there, Liam. My wife actually ran in and said, Liam's asked a question. So, yeah, I wasn't going to miss you there. Sorry, buddy. I think Luke's asked loads. Any other questions, Luke? Luke, do you think appearance? That's what I've answered that one. Thanks, Bruce. Yes, he's a great. Got that one. Luke, how many employees do you have, sir? Well, at the moment, we've got about roughly 10, but it fluctuates. I've actually got, it fluctuates between kind of 6 and 7 out on the road. And we've got a few people in the office. Used to be a hell of a lot bigger, but we scaled back a lot to basically for me to do this. I actually do this full time now. This is my full time thing. And while my business still runs and there's people still in there. So yeah. So hopefully that answers your question. Do you set yourself goals, Bruce? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Always. You should always set yourself goals. Whether they be monthly, weekly, or yearly goals, you should always set yourself goals, and they should be tangible goals that you can actually achieve. Okay, let's see. We've got more questions coming in. Megan, you're late. Okay, working weekends, evenings when you're a one-man band, good or bad? Okay, so working weekends, evenings when you're a one-man band. I mean, it's kind of a necessary evil, Liam. It depends on where you are in your business. It's all relative to whether or not you're actually getting you're getting the revenue that you want, you're getting the wages that you want. What I will say is that working evenings and weekends has to be worth your while. It has to be something that actually adds on to your 5 day. So the way I'd look at it is that your 5 days should be your core, and then if you are working the weekend, that should be extra over and above what you should be doing. But I would say don't get drawn in too much to being that person that works 24/7. I don't know if you've got a family. I can't work out from your profile picture. Have you got a family? Or look, I see you're a plasterer. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely work the weekends, evenings. Just obviously, going back to what I was saying up there, work-life balance. Make sure you maintain that work-life balance. Next one. This is a good one. Great question. Great question, Dan. Any tips on how to switch off of an evening? Okay. So switching off of an evening, this is actually a really difficult one for me because I have trouble switching off. And I think one of the best things that I do to switch off is I use Audible. I use Audible quite a lot, and I find that I have to do my family thing. I've got family, I've got 3 children, so I have to go in and do the things that that you do with family, and I try and give that as much possible time as I can because I really want to make sure that I've got 3 children. I've got a 2-year-old, a 5-year-old, and an 8-year-old. So it's really important time at the moment for me to spend with them, and I don't want to miss that. So one thing that I would really recommend is spending time with your family, if you've got family, and make time for them. And then from that point, I would say, if you're going to then, if they go to bed at 7, half 7, or maybe you go and you just have some free time from, let's say, 7 or 8 o'clock, try and relax. Just try and relax in whatever. I can't say what relaxes you, but for me, listening to an Audible and literally just kicking back and don't get me wrong, I don't do it every evening, but I do find it relaxes me and makes me think about other things rather than the business. Because my mind is 100 miles an hour. I'm constantly on the go. If I'm not like listening to Audible, I'm on my phone watching. Whilst the TV's on, my wife's like, "Oh, should we watch this? Yeah, let's watch that." I'm on my phone constantly, like, what can we do? What can we research? And okay, well, yeah, great. What's happening in the world? What are tradesmen doing? What's the new thing? What's going on? So yeah, I would say find your thing. Obviously, I can't tell you what your thing is, but find your thing and just make sure that you're consistent with it of an evening. Yeah, that's all I can say, Dan. Try and switch off, buddy. I feel your pain. Luke, what's your best business books? Okay, there are a ton of business books out there. One of the best ones that I can recommend is The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. It's a fantastic book, and what you'll do is you'll read that book and you'll go, he's been spying on me. He knows exactly what I've been doing. So, The E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber. It is a fantastic read. Wayne, I don't think you should switch off your volume. You should use your volume switch rather than an on and off. Personal preference. If you can switch off, then absolutely switch off, I would say, because it is, it does burn you out. If you can't, I generally, I find it very, very difficult. And I think, I don't like to call myself an entrepreneur because I think that's a title that's bandied about and used too much these days. But effectively, someone that has run a lot of businesses and still runs businesses and constantly has the mind running, I would say, that yeah, you should try, but if you can't, you can't. Liam. Loads of questions coming in from Liam. Okay, do you feel pricing per job is better than saying pricing per hour or day rate? Does it come across more professional to just give a price for the whole job? And is it better? What's better for business? It's a really open-ended question, that one, Liam. It all depends. It all depends on what actually you're doing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you answered. I assume you are a plasterer or a plastering business. Yeah. Okay, so pricing per job. I mean, some people are going to like you pricing per job. Some people are not. But one thing I will say is that my experience in the past is if you're going to price per job, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to break down what goes on. So you have to break down your labour, break down your materials, and it depends how much you're going to break that down as to how people kind of perceive it. Yeah, plasterer, awesome. As I thought. Yeah, so it's kind of horses for courses, In some ways, people like to price a job because then you'll say, listen, the price is $3,000. I'm gonna plaster your whole house. That might be really cheap. I don't know, Liam. Excuse me if it is, but I'm gonna plaster your whole house for that, and that's the price, $3,000. And some people won't like that. Some people will like it broken down by room. Some people like it broken down by hour. It's finding what works for you, buddy. It really is. It's just one of those. Sorry I couldn't be more clear on that. Yeah, Wayne, people will trust you more if you give a price. Yeah, absolutely. People will trust you more if you give a price. You could say that. It's horses for courses. It is horses for courses. Luke, E-Myth by Michael Gerber. That's Gerber. So Gerber, not Germer. Okay, any other questions? I appreciate you all staying on here, guys. We've stayed on here now for like 44 minutes. You know, and we've still got 19 people on. That's fantastic. And I love the interaction. Absolutely love the interaction. Fixed quote is fixed. Vane feels passionate about this one. It's what works for you. It is, and it's kind of testing and measuring. Why is your shirt from Stafford? I'm not even sure what that means, Wayne. This one. Here we go. Question. Thomas. Most important tip on how to succeed for a sole trader starting out. Wow. Sole trader starting out. So, the biggest bit of advice that I could give for a sole trader starting out is to educate. Before you make any moves, is you need to learn. You need to learn exactly how to market. You need to learn exactly how to, understand your finances. You need to learn exactly how to do sales. You need to learn exactly who your customers are. All these different things that you need to learn before actually jumping in that van and going on your journey and being this sole trader. So that would be my most important and my biggest tip for starting out as a sole trader. Absolutely get yourself educated on every single subject that you are going to come across within business. Just think about how a big business runs and think, okay, what do they have? They have a marketing department. They have a sales department. They have an admin department. They have a service desk maybe. They might have, I don't know, they might have surveyors that go out. They might do quality control. You need to think about all these things because that is you. In the beginning stages, hat, loads of hats. Hopefully that answered that, Thomas. And hopefully I'm saying your name correctly. Apologies if not. Okay. Subbing out work. Here we go. Let's have a look at this one. Subbing out work. What percentage should you be taking or making on top of the tradesman, if you get what I mean? I don't think there's any standard rate or standard set percentage. But I would say, I think in the industry, the kind of average, I mean, there's people making more than this, people making less than this. I'd say it's about 25% on top of what you're, so basically if I'm understanding you correctly, you've got an electrician in, or let's say you're a plasterer. So you're subbing out work to another plasterer and you're taking the price. So you're putting 25% on the price that they're charging you. I think that's about 25%. I would say 25%. On an average job, you need to be making about 40% margin. That's what I would say. Now, understand the difference between markup and margin because they are massively different. And if you don't, absolutely go down in the comments below, and there is a post like I mentioned earlier in this that will explain a lot better about markup and margin. So hopefully that answers that for you, buddy. Sorry, I can't be more. I can't give you the exact, but I would say 25%. If you're aiming for that, you're not going to be too far wrong. No problem, Thomas. No problem at all, buddy. Glad to help. Wayne, you just got called out. Wayne's got to shoot. Cheers, buddy. Thanks for watching, Wayne. Okay. Wise tradesman. Rated people versus checker trade. Whoa, this is a subject. I actually don't think checker trade or rated people do tradesmen any favours whatsoever. Purely because I think rated people is a race to the bottom because it's like piranhas fighting for a job. And what you'll do is you'll find that the customer has actually put their job out there, and you'll have a piranhas, it's a tradesman trying to get this job. And actually, it's all done on price. There's nothing else. You're not actually competing on anything other than price. So the fact that you're a business, you've got a great positioning within your market. You've got, all your engineers, they wear, all their uniform. You spent loads of money on, sign writing your vans or wrapping your vans, and how the office is and everything. Pointless. If you're going to use rated people, doesn't matter, because you're competing on price and price alone. And also check a trade. I think it's check a trade can be a positive. You can get people that can use you off a check a trade. So no harm being on check a trade. Absolutely. If you are, if you're that way and you want to go onto these sites, then I would absolutely say give it a go if that's one thing. But I see so many people that are going down the route of rated people, and they're basically, it's like starting out in business, and they're relying on these sites just to go, I'll tell you what, there you go, there's a bit of work. Well, actually, you're not running a business. All you're doing is taking leads off of people that have, that have got these leads off of Joe Public, and then they're going, well, how many tradesmen want this lead? How many? I want you all to pay £20 for this lead. I don't. I've used it. I have used rated people because I was so intrigued as to how it worked, and I think it works. It must work very well for the people who own rated people. Hopefully, I'm still right in the way that it works. You actually have to pay for the leads, so the customers can put it on there for free, but then the tradesmen have to pay for the leads. That's my understanding of it, and so hopefully that's answered that. I assume that's Sarunas that's put that. Awesome, thanks for posting that, buddy. Check a trade, no, they're rubbish. Ian Bird, £100 per month for absolutely nothing. Social media is great, absolutely. Social media is great. You're missing a trick if you're not using social media, but it has to be used properly. Liam, here we go. What's the one best way to advertise in your opinion? Flyers, social media, radio, cards, van. Well, first and foremost, you should have who you are and what you do on your van. That is, it's your billboard that's driving around. So, and not only does that kind of give people, your number and who you are, and kind of gives them a feel of who you are. But also it kind of shows that you've got a little bit of, care about you, a bit of, you're a bit more refined than someone that just turns up in a tatty old van. So yeah, cards, business cards. Yeah, I mean, I would certainly get business cards, but I wouldn't use them as the number one thing. I would use them as and when people ask for them. So get yourself some Vistaprint business cards. Just literally have them in the van, ready to go. I literally wouldn't try and push them on people or try and get them out there. You could probably do without them, if I'm honest. But yeah, it's nice to have something to give someone. Radio, I think radio for a smaller business it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you a fair amount of money for radio, and it's not. I don't think it's the right place to start. Flyers, yeah, you could use flyers. I mean, there's a module in my course that actually goes over this whole strategic partnership and flyers. If you're working in an area, then you can maybe pull together a letter. Or, a letter with a flyer in it saying, listen, we're in your area at the moment, and, we're offering 20% off of a periodic inspection. Let's say you was an electrician, and, do a little bit of nice little bit of wording to copywriting on the letter, and, make it a nice letter that you can, that you don't feel like you're selling, and, post it in the street that you're working in. But you're only working around this area for the next week. So, or alternatively, it could be a free check. You go in and do an electrical check for free, a visual inspection, and you go in and, they get it for free. But what you could ultimately do there is you could go in and say, listen, the fuse board is, it's 25 years old. I've just got to let you know that. And that's the way it is. It's going to be £550 to change it. That's the kind of, flyers, in my opinion, that's the kind of thing that I would go through. Not like just literally, spreading flyers over the whole country. You're literally going to waste your time and money printing them and sending them out. So have a strategic plan as to what you're going to do with those flyers. And yeah, you can use flyers. So hopefully that's answered your question. Getting masses of value here, Liam. It's like a one-on-one coaching session. Okay, I think that's it. I am now going to go and have my dinner, if you'll allow me. Here we go. Another one. Luke, you're making me work hard, buddy. Okay, do you think it's important for your life partner to share the same vision? Yeah, I mean, I've been over this one a couple of times, actually, and no, I don't think they should necessarily share the same vision as you. It's nice that they understand your vision, and it's nice that they, will. My wife there, absolutely. It's nice that they should share, have an insight into your vision and understand it, but absolutely not. No, I mean, to share someone's vision with them would mean that two people have to meet and share exactly the same vision. It's very unlikely that's going to happen. I think the key to this is having someone that supports you in your vision, and just following on from this is another one that I get asked quite often, and that is, should I get my partner involved in my business? Which is kind of the next probably question from what you've got there, Luke. And it's kind of like, a lot of tradesmen these days, I want to try and put this as softly as possible, but I'm just going to go for it. They kind of make their partner feel like they should be doing the admin and they should be answering the phone for them, and they should be, doing all these different things in their business to help them out because it's a family business and this is what we do. Well, actually, what you should actually do is find out what your partner wants to do, whether they actually want to be involved in the business, and whether they actually, do, share some kind of, drive with you to actually, grow that business the same as you do. Because it's no good having someone that doesn't want to be a part of a business, dragging them along. When in actual fact, what you could do is they could go out and get their own little job or be happy with what they're doing, whilst you employ someone that does admin that literally is happy in their everyday job doing admin. So it's kind of, I think there's the kind of common misconception that it's cheaper to get someone within the family to do it than it is, or the wife to do it, than it is to get someone else. Now, you're probably thinking straight away, well, what if I've got kids? I can't do that if I've got kids. Well, it's whatever works for you. It's whatever works for you. But ultimately, you could do that in the beginning, but then at a certain stage, when it gets to a point where you're leveling up in your business, as I keep saying, I'd say get someone that does the admin for you. But hopefully, an elaboration on your question there, Luke. But hopefully that's answered the question for you, buddy. What's for tea? Yeah, no, I'm not telling you. I don't know myself. Okay. I am going to wrap it up there, guys. Thank you again for all your support. I love this. I love the fantastic support that you're giving me on these lives. Hopefully, I'm giving you as much, information and some value and masses of value in return. As I say, every Tuesday, 7:00, I'm going to be here and I'm going to be giving you as much information as I possibly can. So, if you do want any information, you want me to talk about something, drop it in the comments or post on my page, and just let me know. One last thing I'm going to say again about the group. There's a free group that I've created, and that is Trade Business Mastery. Jump in there. Make sure you get in there and rub shoulders with the people that are in there. It's a free group where you can literally go in, ask questions, and Dean, sorry, I stopped everyone there. But I saw Dean come out and I thought it was quite interesting. Sat here watching the missus. I dragged into admin, or does she agree with me, or does she enjoy it? That's the question. Let's see what Dean. Let's put this on the screen. Dean sat there watching with the missus. You dragged her into it. Did you drag her into it? Let's know, Dean. Let's know whether you actually dragged her into it or whether she's absolutely loving it. So yeah, let me go back to the group. Jump in the group. Make sure that you interact with the group. If you do go in the group, interact with everyone. Introduce yourself. Make sure you comment on things that people are asking questions about. It's all about interaction, making new communications with people, and ultimately it becomes a mastermind. I'm going to jump in there. I'm going to ask questions and I'm going to answer questions for people. It becomes a big mastermind where, if someone drops in the group, I'm having problems with invoicing and I can't get payment off someone else can go, oh, actually, I've used this company and they are fantastic. They will get your money and they will do this, this and this. Fantastic. Someone else gets some value for free. That's the aim. We all get together and we all literally grow this community so that people get masses of value, and it's your go-to place if you've got an issue within your business. Okay, so hopefully I've answered all of your questions. correctly and sufficiently, we'll be watching again, mate. You've got a new follower. Fantastic. Thanks, Thomas. I appreciate that. The group is called Trade Business Mastery. If you go further down on my page, you'll see that I've shared it in there, and there should be a join there that you could just literally click on that, and you'll be straight in the group. I'll accept you straight away. No problem. Okay, guys. Well, thank you again for watching. Until next Tuesday, have a fantastic rest of your week. And if you've got any comments that you want answered by me, drop them in the comments box, and I will answer them as quick as I possibly can. Have a fantastic week, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.